Welcome back to another week. This week I have the all-new 2024 Hyundai Sonata. I've got the preferred trend all-wheel drive version as well. So it is not the base model in terms of just because I have the all-wheel drive. Other than that, it is a very, we don't have the N line. That's the next upgrade for us here in Canada. So let's start off by taking a little walk around. You can see that the front end is completely changed. You can call this a facelift. I call it a complete redesign from zero all the way to here. But check this out. So we got the RoboCop kind of headlights. We do have the main headlight bulb right down in there. You can see it right there. There's no N-line badging, nothing like that. So you can definitely tell that we just have the normal Sonata as it comes, which I think will actually be cool to look at because I feel like we're going to end up seeing a lot of this version on the road. So it's really nice. You can see the side profile for the Sonata hasn't changed that much. I don't think it's gotten any longer or wider. You can see from the older ones, which I will be able to show you later on in the week because my wife happens to own the 2021 version. So you'll be able to see the design in real time all week with me here. The rims are a little bit on the small side, but they do look pretty nice here. I believe the N line kind of changes that as well. So let's take a quick look at the back. I don't have too much room. It's the way I parked, so I'll kind of show you it from here. You can see we have the Sonata. You can see that the rear has changed a little bit as well. We kind of have like this little kind of spoiler lip type thing. Also the trunk button is there and it's not hidden this time. On the 2021, it's hidden. Here we actually have a physical button. Backup camera, which is very nice to see. I am a big fan of this new rear end. A little bit of a diffuser there, whereas you see the N line will add the quad exhaust back here, whereas this one we don't see them at all. But yeah, it doesn't look that terrible. I'm actually quite a big fan of it so far, but let's hop in. I'll give you my first impressions. All right, back driving the Hyundai Sonata. Got a camera there, camera up there. You know how it is, the two angles that I like to do and show you while I kind of do a little bit of performance, talk a little bit more about the driving, because I've actually at this point been able to spend a couple more days with it. So my thoughts now are a little bit more refined as well. So that's going to be something to talk about as well. Yeah, so far I really do enjoy the Sonata. I enjoy the one, my wife's car that my wife drives around every single day. I enjoyed that one too, and this is purely just an improvement on that. I just feel like the new ones are way more equipped. I wish it was as equipped then as it is now. Now I think you get a lot more stuff standard, which is only good news for people interested in buying one of these. So that's really cool. Like I have the preferred trend version and I still have a ton of features in here that you maybe wouldn't expect from like a relatively base model. Now the only thing I don't get to see is the Sonata that my wife has is a front wheel drive car. This is an all wheel drive car. So I kind of get maybe a little bit more power, maybe it's a little bit better on the pickup just because we do have a little bit more wheels spinning when we press the gas. But that's pretty much it. I think it's the same engine. I think it's 191 horsepower, even on my wife's Sport. But the N line gets 291 horsepower, which is like, puts it into almost another class of vehicle, but also the pricing there is competitive. Pricing on this one is also competitive. So I think they're in a really good spot, Hyundai, with what they're trying to do with this car. So let's give it a little bit of a push here. Very loud engine noise, not a lot of action going on, but pretty good acceleration once it decides to kick itself into gear. Not really any turbochargers, nothing like that. Yeah, it's quite a loud engine. Doesn't seem like the engine really even wants to be doing that. And I definitely don't think it is meant to be doing that, like just absolutely foot to the floor hammering it off a stop. Doesn't really seem to play well, but it definitely does get up to speed should you need to use it. It's definitely there for you. So that's good news as well. As we pass the cyclist, come around the corner. It's definitely not the craziest sounding thing, but again, you're not really looking for like utmost performance out of this type of Sonata. Maybe at the end you want a little bit more of like an instant pickup. This is shift by wire, whereas the N line would be a dual clutch, a wet dual clutch. So it's actually going to be way quicker on shifting, whereas this one is shift by wire. So it's not quite CVT, but it's also not quite as fast as, say, something would be like a dual clutch is going to be. So it is what it is there, but honestly this is something that I'm driving to the track, not taking on the track by any means. So for that it's all good, and I think we have enough power here to get us out of trouble in the snow and in the winter, and that's very important. The Ace track system when I've tried it in other vehicles other than Sonata, it's been very good, very easy to use, so no huge complaints there. My wife has sat in this car already after driving her, her normal Sonata every day. Really doesn't find much of a difference in terms of ride quality. That's pretty much the same. Her tires are a little bit bigger, so maybe the noise is a bit louder on her side. I feel like I have a little bit more noise isolation in here than hers, but really they drive almost the exact same, which is good, right? You don't want too much of a change when you're coming up, because they already had a good Sonata platform. I found they're just kind of improving on it with features and stuff like that, so that's really what is nice to see here for the 2024 models. But just driving this one, and it's good enough. I kind of want to see what the top end has to offer. Like if you were to spend like the extra, I think like 10 grand or 5 grand, something like that, if you were to spend that extra money, would you get better performance? Like, is it a whole leaps and bounds above? Is it even worth going for an N line? I really want to try to get my hands on it just so I can tell you the difference between the two. I'd love to drive the two, relatively close to each other, but I don't think that's going to happen because I don't see the N line on our press fleet. So we have the Preferred, which is great though, because I like being able to show you guys the affordable model, like the affordable version of something, or the base model, because technically that's what this is for Canada. Other than the addition of the all-wheel drive, this is, by all extents and purposes, a base model Sonata. So really cool that I get to show you that, and hopefully you find anything that I'm saying or anything that I'm going to show you this week helpful at all. But yeah, there you go. There's a little performance review, little ride quality talk, little comparison talk. I will, if I haven't already showed it to you, I will give you the comparison between the old and the new as I have them set up, but that's only going to happen later on in the week. So we will get to that hopefully soon. All right, back outside with the Hyundai Sonata. Here we go, walking around it one more time. I want you to tell me what you think of the exterior design. Do you like it? Do you prefer the older one? I personally think that, like, looking at it in my driveway, I haven't showed you the comparison yet, but we're gonna get to it probably next. I don't know, I feel like they both are very unique in their own right, and because it's such a huge jump in design, the old one feels like an entirely different Sonata than this one. So really, they both kind of have their own special qualities about their exterior designs. I'm talking about, like, say, take 2024, the one we're standing in front of right now, versus a 2023, or say even a 2021, which is the one I have in my driveway currently. They're both very unique. They both got very unique designs, and it's kind of interesting to see it side by side. So I'll kind of do that next. But let me know so far, what do you think of the exterior design for the Sonata? And also, would you prefer the N line? Because the N line kind of steps things up a little bit, upgraded engine, dual clutch, whereas this is shift by wire. So there's a little bit of extra stuff that you can get if you upgrade to an N line, and it also looks a little bit more sporty out front, but still, this is pretty cool, I think. All right, back outside with the 2024 Sonata, 2020 Sonata. Check out the difference here. You could completely call this a redesign, a complete ground up rebuild when you look at them from the front. You could have called the 2020 Sonata Sport something completely different, and I would have believed you. I would have said maybe it looks like the Sonata a little bit, but I mean, look how drastically different these two trims are. And this isn't even the N line. This is just the Sport. So we've got like a turbocharged engine, but still same amount of horsepower, just a little bit more torque from the 2020 Sport version. So really interesting to look at. When you look at them from the side profile here, kind of see if I can give you a shot like that. So you can see the side profile there for the Sonata. It's a little bit bigger rims, obviously. That's the 2020 Sonata. This 2024, smaller rims, but same kind of stance, same kind of ride height, very similar. I tend to prefer the rims actually on the 2024. Now, let me take you around back, because this is really cool, but also this is a cool shot. You can kind of see, how they ride, what happens to them. Really cool, really cool. Like, that is a cool shot. This is also a really cool shot, but you can see the difference. It's a huge difference, again, on the back. You can see that we have like an H, a more like retro design, whereas this is just straight lines everywhere on the back here. A little bit of a diffuser on both. The only huge difference is I've got a visible exhaust here on the Sport, no visible exhaust here for the rear on the 2024, just trend preferred. So really cool though, same amount of trunk space, pretty much same amount of interior room. Nothing there has really changed for 2024. So that's pretty actually good if you're looking for one of these. I just wanted to give you this outside shot while I'm filming. This direct comparison is going to be out on PRN. Link is in the description if you want to see that. But yeah, I'll include it in my week with video as well for you guys so you can see the direct comparison. Really cool. So now let's check out the interior for the Sonata. This is the preferred trend version, like I said in the beginning. So we get this steering wheel that looks like the one that I would have showed you on the Kona. So Hyundai are obviously going to be using this steering wheel for multiple models, and I don't hate it. I've got buttons for cruise control, lane centering assist, adaptive cruise control as well right here. I can change some of my menu here. There's not a lot of menu options in the gauge cluster anymore. You can also see that I have a nice looking gauge cluster as well. It's a little bit like retro modern, but it is all digital, so we do like it. Then I have some volume controls, media controls right here. Then you can see through here, this is where our shifter is. They borrow that from the Ioniq 5, Ioniq 6, all their EV platforms, and almost all of the Hyundai vehicles now are coming with this kind of shifter, unless of course you get a manual or the Elantra N, I think is still the one that's in the column. Then I have some illumination controls, traction control off, trunk button, and then my electronic parking brake. And since I'm over on the left-hand side, check this shocker out. This is standard memory seats. Everything that I'm showing you right now is absolutely standard. The only thing I have on here is all-wheel drive. That's it. So this memory seats that are going to come standard. Also, another cool thing that comes standard is we got heated seats, heated steering. That's all fine. But look at this, ventilated seats as well in basically the base trim for the Sonata. Really, really awesome to see that here. Then we can take a look at our digital infotainment display. Of course, it's the same that I've showed you on the Palisade, on the Santa Fe. It's very much similar. Kona has the same one. No built-in navigation for this one, but no need really. You have all your basic setup here. You can connect to Blue Link. You've got your display settings. It's all standard stuff. There isn't a lot complicated here. It's just solid. I kind of like this kind of like plastic material that goes along, kind of splits up the dash a little bit, makes things look a little bit more premium. We do have some physical buttons here for like quick media access, which I do like. We have, of course, a volume knob. Start stop button is right here. Then I have all my HVAC controls. This is the same complaint I had on the Santa Fe, where this part of the screen here is a high touch area and it is very fingerprinty. But you can see I have all the controls that I could need, and the buttons are big enough that I'm not overlapping. Then we only have USB-C down here. There's no USB-A in the car at all. No wireless charging pad, just a little storage here. I've got my different drive modes. So you can see here I have snow, I've got a normal mode, I've got a sport mode, and I've got a My Drive, which you can kind of customize steering wheel and engine response. Then I have my auto brake hold. I do have a parking button or a camera button that's just going to pull up my rear view camera because that's the only one you're getting here in the base model, but no bother. It is extremely high quality, so I like this. A little bit of storage here for a key or a little bit of stuff there. 2 cup holders, a nice little armrest that kind of extends because they don't have that thing in the middle anymore. And then also, you know, we got a good amount of storage there. Seats are nice looking enough. They're nothing crazy. They're not stitched red, nothing like that. If you want the really, really nice looking interior or nice looking seats, stuff like that, and not something that doesn't just look regular, then you're going to have to go with the Sonata N line, which is going to look even cooler, have a little bit more features, but still, for a affordable sedan, affordable full-size sedan, this is a great place to start, and we have so much stuff that is standard here that I think other people in the industry need to copy. This is really good. So far, I'm very comfortable as well. I enjoy the inside of the Sonata so far. All right, so last time outside with actually both Sonatas. This is the 2020. Here we go, 2024, right over here. We're gonna just hop in. Let me give you my final impressions on what it's been like to live all week with it. Although I've been kind of doing it for 4 years on and off since my wife owns the 2020, like I said. Showed you the comparison yesterday. And you know, it's been a really fun car to drive around. Very easy to use vehicle as well. I mean, I'm about to go get more groceries and stuff with it right now one last time. So on the way, I'll give you my first impressions. Let's hop in and do that. All right, in the Sonata 2024, one final time for the week. It's been a little bit of a longer week since I am filming here in Canada today, so I do get to keep the car for an extra day, so that never hurts, especially when, you know, it's a usable car like this. I'm on my way to get, you know, some last minute groceries here, and yeah, it's just been such an easy to drive vehicle, just like the one that my wife owns, the 2020 version. The 2024 is really no exception to that. They're both super easy to drive. They have plenty of room. They have almost SUV level room in here, and it's just hard to find things to complain because they've actually equipped it even better. And like, the only reason I wouldn't upgrade to a 2024 from a 2020 is because the 2020 is still so well equipped for the amount that I think that we're still paying for it is like I just couldn't justify jumping up and you know, paying for a whole new car again. So what you get here in the 24, or even if you bought like 4 years ago in 2020, you're still good. And I guess Hyundai kind of shoots themselves in the foot a little bit because of that, because like they've equipped it so well that the upgrade becomes not so worth it, other than the huge design change that is present. I mean, if you really like the newest, latest, and greatest stuff, then you're really going to be happy with like all the design changes they made on the outside and on the inside. It's both massive. You could probably call the Sonata, or the 2024 Sonata, a completely different Hyundai, and they could probably still get away with that. That's how drastically different that this thing looks, and I'm here for it. I don't mind it. I'm so glad though that they included like ventilated seats as like a standard feature, or maybe it just comes with the all-wheel drive, I'm not sure, but it seems like that's standard, which is really, really surprising, and I am here for it. I love it. It's great. Yeah, I think we just about covered everything there is to cover this week for the 2024 Hyundai Sonata. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you're in the market still for a Sonata. Would you take the N-Line, or are you gonna go with the preferred trend all-wheel drive version? Let me know what you think. Let me know reliability. If you've owned a new generation Hyundai, I want to hear everything that you are here to tell me. So make sure that if you found this video helpful, useful, anything entertaining whatsoever, make sure you click subscribe for me. Also turn on the bell notifications so that way you never miss a new car. I've got them every week. I'm doing these videos twice a week, every single week for you guys, so make sure you subscribe for that. With that being said, I'll see you the next week. See you in the next car. Take care.